go, let's do something amazing for season 6. Season 6 is going to be the best season ever, and we've got to do something off the chain.
Okay, I'll go to my bag of tricks. See what I can find. Funny.
No.
Okay, whatever. And then just
think about, like, there's categories to what we got to do. So there's like the main thing that we got to do, and then we got to come in and do something else, and then something else, and then there's going to be so much else that we're going to do throughout the entire show, because there's going to be a topic, and then a topic, and then a topic, and then like 3 topics, and then it gets bigger. Yes, like 6 topics. Yes, insane.
You have champagne and beer? You wild man.
Where are you going? Why is he doing that? Okay. It's just me.
I think it's done now. So, I mean, all we got to do now is start the show. Bow, we are here.
What's
up? Season.
What's happening? How are you?
I am great. I'm ready for skiing, motorcycle riding, or going back to the future for this show.
Could you ride a motorcycle down a ski slope in the future?
I could ride a motorcycle down a ski slope in the future, and I
do that.
would ride a motorcycle down a ski slope in the future. And I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam. I am.
You might like them if you tried them.
I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like this. I would really like to try green eggs and ham. That's my favorite book in the entire world.
Would you like them on a ski slope?
I would not like them on a ski slope. I would not like them with an antelope. I would not like them here or there. I would not like them anywhere.
In the future or the past.
In the future,
I would not like them kiss my ass.
Kiss my ass.
You're very banana today.
I am very shout outs to Gooder with my shout outs to the farmers market, farm to market. These shades are supposed to represent bananas. They are bananas, and that's exactly how bananas. Shout outs to Savon. And they are bananas, but I like them. I think they're perfect for the show. I think it's perfect, not just for this show, but just for the show, period. Like the ODL experience.
Sure. What's not perfect for this show? Anything goes.
Look, eventually someone's gonna pop on the screen and we're gonna be like, oh shit, it's them. I don't know. Like one day I'm just gonna randomly put the link out there and see who pops up.
Who could it be? Not you or me. We already here.
And we're here or there, and we could be anywhere. Because we can do this show from a mobile phone. We can do this show.
That's true. You know what we can't do this show from? An iPad.
You can't do the show from an iPad. You look, especially if you're going to present the beautiful slides that we have here about this. Look, look, season 6 has been kicking ass so far.
On target.
Look, we talked about cornflakes and masturbation. We talked about the first state to state drug dealer, your boy Pemberton out there getting it in.
Yep. You know, settled down in Georgia.
You know, we talked about bicycles. You know, had the sweet
crazy ones.
The sweet Pee Wee Herman joint was there. You know, everybody wants the big top.
It took way too long to land on the masterpiece that was The Big Adventure.
Oh, it was great. It was great. But you know, every week I go, okay, he can't top what he just did. And now I'm starting to see that you arrange these and they're like, oh, this fucker thinks he won't be able to, I will top this one. Wait till he sees this one. And so, like, legitimately, I know nothing about this one. Like last week was a phenomenal show. Was last week 10 cent beer night?
Yeah, last week was 10-cent beer.
Look, I already had
And you
four
did
people.
know something about that. You were well aware of 10-cent beer.
I was not aware of how rough Tom and the rest of the Rangers were back then. But if you did not check out the 10 cent beer show, go find out why a gallon of Thunderbird and trailer chains were at a baseball game. That's all I got to tell you about that. It's totally worth your time.
And if you think it was Astros versus Indians, you are incorrect.
You're totally wrong.
That was only the ball game.
That was the ball. It was the Rangers. And then there was a baseball bat fight at the end. So look, make sure you guys check that out. So look, I can't make this up. Every week I start off like, what? And then I'm here. So the first woman president.
Yeah, so I was talking to one of our previous guests on the show, Mr. Getoff, a couple days ago. And he said, "What are you doing?" So I sent him a screenshot of, what I was working on. And he was first woman president. He started rattling off some names from Iceland. I'm like, while he's right, the technical first woman president was from Iceland. Yeah, good job. Good job there. Our friends are intelligent. This topic is a little bit more Omie deed and a little bit more local.
Okay, so in Dallas, like
no, U.S.
Oh, okay, I was like, wow, and so apparently I know this woman president is Omie D. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if you did. I just meant it's more a clever title.
Oh, okay.
No, this is a clever title, the first woman president, not the literal Iceland first woman president. So let's talk about who this will become.
Okay, let's get into the rock and roll of it.
So we're going to be talking about Edith Bowling.
Edith, that is a classic name, and nobody really goes by Edith anymore. If I have a daughter, I'm going to name her Edith.
There you go. Okay. Now Edith, unlike her siblings, did not go to school. She stayed at home to take care of a grandparent who was confined to their bed. So she was raised by a very intelligent grandmother who taught her not just to read and write, but a whole lot of responsibilities as well, and taught her to be the strong person that she would become.
So she was raised by Sophia from the Golden Girls.
Exactly.
That's why that's best. I got it.
She learned to read, write, basic math, French, English, and more importantly, taught her decision-making skills and how to hold and deliver strong opinions.
Yes.
And Edith, not actual grandmother's name, or not her, not Sophia, not her grandmother's name, also had a tutor that was brought in that took her throughout Europe as a young woman.
Oh, that must have been Rose.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Had to have been one of them.
Yeah. I can see that.
So she's this strong, independent woman who's well-traveled, very unusual for the late 1800s.
Yeah, kind of sexy. I like it.
Yeah, so she marries a man named Norman Galt. Becomes
that's horrible.
Edith Galt. Norman and Edith.
Norman and Edith. This sounds like the first run of like the pilot episode of All in the Family, and they're like, Norman doesn't really work. Let's go with Archie, right?
Right. Shall we call him Arch? Yeah,
Arch.
So unexpectedly, Mr. Galt passed away at the ripe old age of 43. Edith, being the badass that she was, took over his businesses, closed out his debts, made sure that vendors were where they needed to be, wrapped everything up nice and tidy, and went back to Europe.
Okay, so where did she marry this Galt fella
at? So she's in the DC area.
Oh, she came to the United States and married a statesman.
No, she's from the U.S.
Oh, so
she's from. Okay. So meanwhile, while she's wrapping up her deceased husband's businesses and traveling and just being this badass, let me tell you what's happening stateside.
Woody,
there's this guy named Woodrow Wilson.
Shout outs to Woody,
who There he is. He gets elected in 1912. And he is the president when the First World War breaks out.
WWI.
Yep. So, I mean, that's right in the middle because he's going to end up serving 2 terms. He starts 1912, goes to 1920, and he covers the entire World War. While he's there, he is the one who creates the League of Nations, which is the first time worldwide leaders are focused on world peace. So it's really the first time that we see foreign relations start, and for a good reason.
So that's like that was like the opposite of the Justice League, right? They had that little base that popped out of the water and had like Solomon Grundy in there and stuff like that. Nice. I didn't know what
the same year. Yes, please. I've got some wine coming my way.
What the fuck?
Lovely assistant. Yeah.
You wild man. Jeez. So Woody Wilson, he started the Legion of Doom, right? He said, right?
And the same year that the First World War broke out, 1914, my man Woodrow Wilson lost his wife.
No, that's sad.
So he's a very busy president. But all this sets up an event that happened a year after the First World War began, when in a White House celebration, a young lady named Edith is invited to a party and meets a young man named Woodrow at the White House.
Oh, did she wear a dress to said White House?
Oh yeah. Oh, it was an event.
Yes, and did they take said dress and investigate it for?
I don't think that they needed to. There was no accusation there.
Okay.
But accusations did start that he liked her so much so quickly, and it was so instant that rumors began that Wilson had cheated on his wife, who had died with Edith, who he just met.
So he who's the lady in the middle? Is that Edith?
Yeah, that's Edith again. Yeah, they
look
so
happy. They look so happy. So his wife died, and then they have a party. They have like, come on, Woody, let's go to this party. There's gonna be lots of ladies there. You're a single bachelor. You own the United States right now. Who doesn't want you? Ladies are gonna be throwing corsets at you left and right. And he goes there and he meets this woman after and he's a widower. What do they call males? Widower.
He's a widower, and she's a widow.
So they two widows, and they go, look, I lost my husband, I lost my wife. Well, some bitch, you want to hang out? They're like, yeah, and all ski, and they had a good time. So they look very happy. What's wrong with that?
They were very happy. Second love at first glance.
They hating. Stop hating in 22?
It's 1915.
Hating in the 15. Dang, haters they was hating way back in 1915.
107 years ago.
Old ass haters.
Woodrow is a little concerned about what it would look like, so he tries to back out of the engagement. And you can guess what Edith said when he tried to back out of the engagement while she's this close to the White House.
Bitch, please. You can't quit me.
She's like, yeah, no chance. Chance.
Yeah.
So she made sure that it continued. Not only that, but she started pushing her presence around, became one of the most dominant first ladies ever, proved that she was not a murderer because the rumors. She was a key element to his re-election mid-war. She came in and got involved, and she is the first lady to travel to Europe and starts visiting troops, and she gets invited to the signing of the Treaty of Versailles.
Wow.
She starts meeting and mingling with other royals and head of countries' wives, and starts becoming this prominent force in Europe because of her ability to go engage, and she knows what she's doing out there. She becomes one of the biggest reasons he is pushed to the forefront as a world leader.
Yeah, we've seen this in history a lot of times, have we not? Have we not seen?
I think so, right? I mean, it's not even like National Women's Day or something. Like, why is this not
No,
just casually talked about often? Like, yeah, no,
no.
she is absolutely a driving force for foreign relations and how nations are coming together.
It's amazing. It's amazing how valuable a woman is to the success of our country. That is unbeknownst to everybody.
So this was
Unless
this
you watch
was
this show, because we like everybody.
absolutely. So do you know how to spot a stroke?
Be fast. Breakfast. You have to say
So
your
somebody might
ABCs. If you can't say your ABCs and your left side of your body does like this, you stroke.
that is, probably a much better way to think of it than some clever mnemonic like be fast, but balance, eyes, face droops, your arms lost, speech, and then time is of the essence. Like spotting a stroke, like quick conversation about that, how to recognize when somebody is going through a stroke, not just intoxicated or cheers. And how to spot that and how to recognize a true medical issue. So back in 1919, spotting a stroke was not as easy as this meme I have here.
Really? Was it because everybody was drunk all the time?
I don't think so. I just think that
I'd have been
medically it
drunk.
wasn't something that they were well aware of.
So they didn't
And
know
on
what a stroke
October,
was. They just was like, what the hell is that shit? Stop
yeah,
doing
they
it.
didn't notice or respond fast enough. On October 2nd, halfway through his second term, Woodrow Wilson suffers a stroke that left him blind in one eye, partially paralyzed, and he could barely even write his own name.
Oh no.
Yeah. The remainder of his presidency, Edith steps into the office and determines which communications, the matters of state that he'll address, and even who's allowed to go in and see him. There's a strict inner circle, which is her and a physician and a few close friends that know the true extent of the president's illness and the disability that he's falling into, and is hiding it from the American public.
I think this is a good time for us to be well aware as we roll into election season that I think that Jill Biden would be a great person to run the White House.
I think Dr. Biden would do just well if
I
something
think
were to
so.
happen to the aging president and the White House.
I do think so. I think she would put America at the forefront of her agenda. So I think maybe we shouldn't elect with who's in the White House, but maybe who would be running the White House from behind. And I ain't seen Ivanka in about a whole lot of minutes. So yeah. So I'm not quite. I'm voting for Jill Biden, but I mean Joe, whatever. Yeah.
Dr. Biden.
Dr. Biden. That's who I'm voting for. Dr. Biden.
Dr. Biden. I'm with you on that, and forgive the politics. We're not scared of it, but my Twitter shared on here as well. But I would love to vote for somebody who is under retirement age myself.
Me too. Like, isn't it's a nice thing? Like, look, I'm sorry. We're just a little sidebar. Most of the time, we take the keys away from people when they hit a certain age.
Oh, we're handing all the keys. Yeah.
Hey, here's a country.
So here's an example where it's, thank goodness we've got a strong woman there who does take charge.
Yes.
She becomes the sole communicator between the president and the entire cabinet. She starts requiring all of the messages come through her. She's handling pressing matters, memos, correspondence, questions, requests. It's all coming to her.
Bad bitch.
Yeah. And remember, this is the middle of a world war, and she is leading. She posts some really innovative things. It's during the war, so she's doing gasless Sundays. So, not using gas on Sundays, trying to save some money. Yeah. Meatless Mondays, wheatless Wednesdays, and she's really trying to set an example for rationing. And making sure that everybody's rationing the right way. She even And these are not the sheep that we saw in the last administration out on the White House. These are sheep that she put out to graze the White House lawn rather than using manpower to mow it. And she, allowed them to go to war and had the wool auctioned off for the American Red Cross.
Wow. Do you know how much money you would make for sheep wool that graze the lawn of the White House right now?
That allowed men who would probably be mowing your lawn to go off to war and fight or die. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd make a lot of money. I need to talk to Dr. Biden about that.
She successfully kicked out Secretary of State Robert Lansing.
You get out of here, buddy.
So she removed the Secretary of State from office.
Okay.
She also handled the British ambassador, Edward Grey, and he was not able to present to Congress because his group had made comments about her and her husband, about Woodrow, and she found out about it through the connection that she made. And she said, "Yeah, you're not coming to the States and making any additional connections." She filled out paperwork because Wilson could not fill it out, and she was known to make a few notes. She had access to classified information officially, and was entrusted with encoding and decoding encrypted messages.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang. Who is this lady? Joan of Arc?
Edith Wilson.
Edith Wilson.
Yep.
Edith.
Yep.
See, I knew that's a power name.
Yeah. When her presidency was up, when Wilson's presidency was up, there was a peaceful transfer of power, and she took her husband to their new home back in DC, took care of him for about 4 more years. He died in February of 24. And then she did not stop. She went on to head the Women's National Democratic Club, the Board of Governors, and even published a memoir in 1939.
Wow.
So she went on to be a prominent public figure well after the her presidency, so to speak.
So she was Nancy Reagan before Nancy Reagan was Nancy Reagan.
And yes, yeah.
Wow.
She was out there dominating.
That's crazy. I believe you're not allowed to be president if you're not married. I think that's part of the deal. You have to have a wife.
I don't think that's true.
Maybe you need to look that up. You're the smart one here.
I just Google everything.
Look, if you want, let's Google it.
I do not think that's a requirement. And I certainly hope it doesn't say you have to be married to a woman, because I think that Pete Buttigieg is gunning for the White House in the next 8-12 years.
Buttigieg requirements for president. Does an unmarried president still need a first lady? He's unmarried and unvowed bachelor. If he won the White House, he'd have no spouse. What the hell? Where is it? It should be a yes or no, Google. Are you
What's yes or no in Congress?
Library of Congress. There's a whole bunch of requirements. Political parties, persuading. I don't know. I heard that somewhere. I don't know. Maybe I was watching Fox News. They always giving out the wrong information. Yeah. But I'm going to look it up and figure it out. But it's a good thing that the president is married, because, I wouldn't want a bachelor president out there getting it in on South Beach, when we're having important stuff. Like, there needs to be a balance. And apparently, this woman right here is amazing. Like, why didn't we do this during National Women's Month?
One, we would celebrate it, and two, we shouldn't have to wait for a month to come out to have it. I thought it was an interesting story. I wanted to tell it. I want to make sure it was out there, and I wanted to make sure that we had some diversity in our topics, that we can go from bicycles to women to Black History Month to anything that we need to talk about, even next week when we're going to talk about the line.
Nice one.
Like, we're not one genre. We can go wherever we need to go.
That's it. That's it. Wait, next week is season 8. I like this color scheme right here. It reminds me of
Episode 8.
You remember when the brown M&M was that color for a little while?
Is it darker now?
Yeah, it's like dark chocolate. It's like my color right now. It's like Omie D M&M.
Yeah, well, if I had that, then I'd have to put a smile on your avatar.
Woo! And I don't smile because I don't want them to think I'm a happy slave. Check out the Frederick Douglass show.
I mean, that is why he didn't smile in his photos. The most photographed man of the 19th century. We did talk about that. Yeah, check out that show. Yeah.
I don't want to do shameless self-promotion, but hey, check us out. We got a whole catalog. If you're watching us on the YouTube, spend some time, get drunk, do whatever you do, and enjoy. And we will catch you next week for season 8. We'll learn about a line because I can't draw a straight
Season 6, episode 8. Do you have any idea about the line?
It's either I can't draw a straight one to save my life. Like gunpoint, they're like, draw a straight line. I'm like, I would totally Don Knotts that shit. So I have no idea what the line is. Is it a show?
Okay.
Is it a movie?
Find out next week.
Okay,
Season 6, episode 8.
All right. See you later. Bye.